not even gonna go there. Hey guys, it's Double K Nation. I'm Kira. Welcome back to another video. We're back again with a Finding Key episode. Are y'all glad to see me again? Have y'all been loving the videos? Leave a comment and tell me if you've been loving the videos. I've gotten some comments from some family members and friends, and they said I've been coming for them. Like, little do y'all know, I've been coming for myself too, because I recorded those videos back towards the end of June, early July. So I'm rewatching the videos with y'all for the first time since I last edited them. And when I tell y'all I be eating myself up, because God knew I would need those videos. He knew I would need them. So when I tell y'all the videos are not just for y'all, they're for me too. Okay? But yes, we are back for another episode. In this episode, y'all will be healing with me, but book edition. Yes, because I have been reading some really good devotional books, and most of them, I am rereading. I read them years and years ago, probably close to a decade now. Probably not that long, probably like more 7 years. I've been rereading them, and then some of them for the first time, and it's been giving everything it was supposed to give, number one, and number two, it has just been taking me through some deeper places that I did not even know I needed to touch, and just all the things. And like I told y'all in one of my Finding Key episodes, I honestly don't remember which video it was, if I'm being quite honest. I'll have to go back and rewatch them. But one of the videos I mentioned that in this season of singleness, I am going deeper. I'm healing deeper and just uprooting some things up and out, you know, because I don't want to carry those things on further in my life, number one. And then number two, I don't want to carry them into my next relationship. So I'm just going to share those books with you all. And some of them I've mentioned before, and I'm going to mention them again. I'm going to keep mentioning them until you get it. Okay? Until you get it. I'm going to keep mentioning them. But anyways, let's get right into the video. So the first book is True Feelings, God's Gracious and Glorious Purpose for Our Emotions by Carolyn Mahaney and Nicole Whitaker. I read this book by recommendation from one of my fave YouTubers. I've mentioned her in several videos now, but Kyra Stewart. I don't even remember. It was when we first started college, and she's doing book content now, but that was back when she was doing like her mom content and all those types of things, her makeup videos and all those types of things. And she had mentioned this book, and I think it was actually when she was going through postpartum, maybe, I think. But either way, she recommended this book, and me and my sister were like, oh, she's recommending it, we need to get it. So we got it, which of course, I mean, are we gonna sit here and act like women don't need to understand their emotions? Because when I tell y'all I go through so many emotions, not just when I'm on my cycle or anything like that, the weeks leading up to it, because look, I feel like I get maybe 2 to 3 days out of the month to be my actual self. And those 2 to 3 days are me recovering from everything that my body put me through for the last 3 to 4 weeks, or 3.5 weeks. So you can imagine. So I read this about 7 years ago, I want to say, and I just reread it a couple months ago. And when I tell y'all, this blessed me so much. It blessed me so much. It gave me a different perspective on my emotions, how to deal with my emotions, and to think about my emotions, and just all those types of things. So, and as y'all can tell, like, there's so many highlights, so many notes and things like that. Just, it was so good. 10 out of 10 recommend for every woman to read. And honestly, I mean, men, if y'all want to, you know what I'm saying, get a better understanding of your girl's emotions, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever the case, you want to get a better understanding, your mom's emotions, read this. Okay, next. This one, I don't think I've ever mentioned, and it's not like, he's not a like well-known author. He's actually a local artist in the DFW area, so you probably heard of him, Jacoy Griffin. And yes, he actually sang at my sister's church, and they were good friends and things of that nature. So we supported him and got his book. And when I tell y'all, this ate me up in the best way it did, because he wrote it from the perspective of him going through and processing his grief after his mom died. So you can only imagine. You can only imagine. And the title is Rest in God. So definitely 10 out of 10 recommend. Go pick this up. Honestly, if you're dealing with grief or anything like that, I feel like this is a good thing to read. But also, God can speak to you in different ways. It doesn't matter what, I don't want to say it doesn't matter what the book is about, but even if you're not reading it from the perspective of going through grief, just the simple fact of me learning to rest in God, period, because y'all already know what I've been dealing with this year, and having to learn or basically teach myself how to trust God again, because somewhere it fell off and I started thinking I was doing everything in my own power, which I mentioned in my life update. Y'all go check that out if y'all want all the details about that. But y'all know where I've been. Y'all know the place that me and God's relationship was in at some point this year. So this book, yeah, definitely taught me a lot and gave me a different perspective. And honestly, I think about this book so much. And I pray this prayer, Lord, help me to rest in you, a lot. So I recommend it because recommend. Next, this book I put off for the longest before I read it, because there was just a whole bunch of controversy going around about him. And honestly, if I pay money for something, I'm like, I bought the book. And number two, I'm not wasting my money. At the end of the day, I can't not receive what God has for me just because I don't trust or because I don't too much care for the person that's giving it to me. But don't discredit the source just because you don't too much care for them. Because at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that they don't have a word for you. That doesn't mean that God is not telling them to speak certain things to you. Now, of course, you have to be very cautious because, you got to hear God for that yourself. But, anyways. Crazy Faith by Michael Todd. This book, first of all, let me find it real quick. He said, if you had an absent father or a parent who fell significantly short of giving you the love, care, provision, and attention that you craved as a child, it may be hard to have a childlike faith in a father you cannot physically see. Psychological studies tell us that we human beings tend to associate the attributes of our primary father figure, or lack thereof, with God. When I tell y'all I boo-hoo cried reading that, because it made perfect sense. Because I told y'all I've struggled or realized that I never really trusted God. I was just saying that I did, but I didn't really trust him. So when I read that, it made so much sense, because y'all know by now what my relationship has been like with my daddy. So yeah. And I was not expecting that at all. When I was a mess. I was a wreck. And I was like, I was not expecting to see that, to read that. But it makes perfect sense. And I was like, yeah, I have to include this in this video, because when I tell y'all that healed me in a completely different way, and that's what I'm talking about, going deeper. Didn't even know I needed to go that deep. Didn't even know that there was a place I needed to go. Yeah. Next one. Y'all know Lisa TerKeurst is my girl. She eats me up and she gut punches me every time. But y'all know that's my girl. So I have 2 books from her. The first one is The Best Yes. I just read this one a couple months ago. And this healed me in the way of being able to make decisions, but make them with God, to seek God first about them. Because I pray about big things, but even the small things, even the mundane things, even the everyday things that I do, I don't pray about those. And reading this, I was like, okay, so I need to incorporate God into those decisions. And honestly, making decisions ministry-wise and life-wise, just all those things, this is going to give you every single tool you need. I've used one of the tools, I want to say a couple times since I've read this now. And I love books that give me tools to use, because I'm all of the learners. I'm all of the learners. I need to hear it. I need you to show me, and then I need to be doing it myself. So that's how I learn. I learn best doing those things. So I love a good book that gives me strategies and tools to use in my daily life to incorporate, so that I'm like it's still in my mind. It's still in my head. You know what I'm saying? So just, and as you can see, I clearly loved it. But just, yeah. Yeah. All right. Next, Forgiving. Don't mind my regular book, y'all. The cover got messed up and it pissed me off and I threw it away. So if you know me, you know that that's about on brand. So yeah. Anyways, Forgiving What You Can't Forget. Y'all probably like, I know she not recommending that book. I am. And guess what? I just read it again. Can y'all believe it? It's only been a year and some change since I read this book. And I read it a couple months ago, I want to say. And yeah, I reread it a couple months ago. And it actually wasn't as gut-punching and gut-wrenching as it was the first time I read it. It still ate me up. But it did not do me as bad as it did last time. It did not take me a year to read it. It took me 2 weeks, I believe. So that's improvement. A year to 2 weeks is improvement. And I want to make this an every year read, just so that I'm making sure that I am operating in forgiveness and not false forgiveness or unforgiveness, because there's just too many things that I need, and there's too many, you know what I'm saying? I don't want God to withhold my blessings and withhold anything from me just because I'm not forgiving like I need to. So yeah. If you have not read this book, again, pray before you read it. Make sure your heart is in the right place and make sure you are ready to receive what this book has for you. Because baby, this ain't just no Jolly Holly read or Holly Jolly read. This ain't one of them. So make sure you're prepared. I done warned y'all. But look at all these tabs and the sticky notes and the, like, it's good. It's real good. It's just gonna eat you up. I fear it's gonna eat you up. But 10 out of 10 recommend. Y'all already know. And last but not freaking least, y'all know I love this book. I've been ranting and raving since I read it this year, the beginning of this year, and I plan on rereading it again. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Still rereading some of my other devotional books, but honestly, probably my most favorite book of all time. Sis Don't Settle, Faith Jenkins. I cannot recommend this book enough. When I tell y'all, it has just healed me in the most best way concerning dating and just living this single life. Because like I tell y'all all the time, people just want to make it seem like it's one thing when it's not. And just, it just don't have to be, okay? It don't have to be that. Go watch my other Finding Key videos concerning that, and y'all get the scoop on all of that and how I feel about all of that. But I 10 out of 10 recommend this book so much. Like, I have thought about it every day since I've read this book. Or there will be certain things going on and I'll be like, Faith said that. Or she said that in that book. Or just certain things. I love a book that don't leave your brain. I love a book that don't leave your brain. And I love remembering the strategies and the tools. Like, Faith said to do this when this happens, or Faith said to do this when this happens, and just remembering like the tools and using them, because y'all, life can be hard, and honestly, being single can be hard some days. And y'all already know that based on my Being Single Sucks video. But if you haven't checked it out, click the link in the description box below. Thank you. But y'all know it can be hard sometimes. Y'all know it can suck sometimes. And depending on what season of singleness you're in, you know it can suck sometimes. So I 10 out of 10 recommend this book. If I could get, honestly, I might have to do a giveaway soon. Because maybe around Christmas time or something. Because I need somebody else to read this book and tell me, I'm like, am I crazy, or is this book not that good? Like, I need you to tell me that you agree that this book is a 10 out of 10. I need somebody else to read. It's so good. And her journey, her story is so beautiful. She was so authentic and honest, and just, she literally laid her heart out. And when I tell y'all, I felt like I wrote this book, because almost everything that she went through, I've been through or am going through. And I was like, Lord, okay, I did not write this book. I did not tell this lady my business. Didn't even know about this lady before this. Why is she telling my business? Why is she writing my business in this book? Why is she writing my business in this book? And she also said that men can read this too. So when I do the giveaway, look, men and women, you were, like it says, sis don't settle, but just take off the sis for the men and be like, don't settle. Faith Jenkins. How to stay smart in the matters of the heart. And she most definitely gave everything. I should just keep this with me and just everywhere I go, just because it's so good. It's so good. I mean, clearly, like that makes no sense, but it's so good. It's so good. Even Devon Franklin, Tia Mowry, or is it Maury? I think I've been pronouncing their last name wrong for many years. Tia Mowry, they just, and you know, Devon Franklin wrote The Truth About Men and The Weight. Those are the two most known books from him to me. But I think he has other, not I think, he has other books, but those are the only two I've read, and I actually just reread those, and again, so good. So freaking good. But yeah, those are the 6 books that I recommend, 10 out of 10 recommend for healing in certain places. And just look. Again, did not even expect that this one was going to hit me in my stomach as much as it did, and hit me in my heart as much as it did, but it did. So, yeah, but okay. Yeah. That is going to bring us to the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know any more books that y'all would recommend for me to read concerning healing or anything like that you've read that you think are really good and that you think I would enjoy. I mean, y'all see my genre is pretty much like very broad. I don't really have, you know, a particular genre of reading concerning devotionals or anything like that. I mean, most of them are like self-help devotionals, I guess is what you call them, or motivational devotionals. I don't know, but I love a good book. And I'm rereading The Sacred Search by Gary Thomas right now. It's another good one if y'all want to pick that one up. I 10 out of 10 recommend for every single, because look, when I tell y'all, like, I read it and I know what's in there, but I forgot because it's been a year. But I was like, these are some great questions to ask a man, because it's so many conversations that you just don't think about. Even though I've literally thought about everything. So I was like, I don't want no secrets, no discrepancies. I don't want nothing. Should nobody be able to tell me nothing about my boyfriend/husband. I say boyfriend/husband because my next boyfriend could be my husband. I just don't know yet. I don't know what God gonna do. But anyways, so pick that book up. If you are a single and you plan on getting married, or honestly, if you're just trying to practice intentional dating, pick that book up. Pick that book up. Because it's so many good questions in that book. Like, I don't know what. No, never mind. We're not even gonna go there. But had I read that book about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because I started back dating in 2021. Yeah. Y'all see I wrapped that up real quick. Anyways, had I read that book 3 years ago? Yeah, no, and no. But anyways, remember to stay tuned for more of my Sisters Mama Kai content, more of my Finding Key content, our Double K Nation content, and our Life with Double K Nation content. We would like it if you would all, you may like, comment, and subscribe. See you later, lovelies.
Swag on it, whoa. You deserve the most swag on it. Had to go real hard for it. They don't understand I'm covered in this blood. Head to toe, yeah, I'm covered in this love. I got protection.